Hello, Brickdark here. Today I'm reviewing the LEGO Star Wars Spring 2020 Dio set, which has 519 pieces, one figure, and retails in the United States for $70. So I just opened the Dio, this is before I've built it, and there's these very interesting rubbery pieces that are used, I think, to build the wheel and some tubing detailing. And I thought that when these pictures first came out for these, that it was one of these pieces, these bendy plastic pieces, but no, it's this interesting rubber piece. And this has appeared in some Technic sets from my understanding, but it's my first time seeing it. You get like 4 of them in the set. Very interesting piece. One figure included is the Dio figure, and this is tied for the cheapest way to get him, as the resistance wiring is also $70. It's just one piece with an anti-stud at the bottom, and a stud at the back of his head if you feel like attaching something to the back of his head. Some nice printing all around. It gets the job done. You know it's Dio, and there's not much else to this piece, though I will be interested to see if they use this piece elsewhere outside of Star Wars, or if the piece is license locked. Probably is license locked, but still, it's fun to dream sometimes. That's it for the Dio figure. As for the Dio buildable character, it's substantially larger than I originally thought it was going to be. You can see some of those rubber tubes inside of the wheel, and the way they build this wheel is really interesting. Using those rubber tubes, you build like 24 the same bit of just 1 by 2 brick with the 2 technicals in it, and then this curved piece on top. You build a bunch of those, and it creates this really nice looking wheel. Now, they did decide for this design to put it into a little stand, which makes it sturdier, and I'm kind of mixed on this because none of the other buildable characters have had like little ground. Of course, they've had this little stand, but they've not really had any terrain underneath them, and I don't know, it kind of, for consistency, not a huge fan, but I mean, if this is how they had to get the thing to stand, and if it just was not stable, or they could not feasibly find a way to have this whole technique around, then I can understand. Oh, this technique is pretty stable, but on the side you have some nice, just wow, it connects from this bit to the head. And you do have that nice gap between, which is accurate to the movie. Usually I don't like gaps, but in this case it's good. 2 more of those wire bits, and you insert these modified 1x1s into the tubes, and it's kind of a tight fit, so that's pretty interesting. Now, a couple features for the set. Let me move this back so you can see. You can twist this bottom knob, and the head tilts up and down, or you can move this middle knob, and his head will rotate. Now I'm just gonna quickly take hold of the camera so you can get a better look at the head. This is printed, and thankfully on mine I got all 3 lines straight, because I've seen on a couple that they sometimes aren't straight. On the back you do have some antennas you can adjust as you like, though it's best to keep them at a slight angle. And I do like how they managed just this cone that looks very much like Dio. At the front there is a printed rounded 2x2. And yeah, there's not too much else with this figure. It is in that same style and that same quality as those buildable figures from the past. Though this one is a bit bigger, which could be a downside to some people. It's not completely in scale with, say, the BB-8, because the BB-8 compared to the 2012 UCS R2-D2 was almost perfectly in scale. This one is actually a little bit bigger than the BB-8 I've seen, so if you want to have a very accurate collection of the 3 droids by each other, this set might not be for you. You might need to have to build it yourself, but I think it's definitely, it's good. I like it. I think it gets the job done. You know it's Dio. And to me, scale does not really matter unless it's really out of scale, like this being bigger than the R2-D2, which it's not, so I mean, that's fine. Now there is one other build right here. Once again, the stand is pretty kill me. It's nothing too special. It's like what they've been doing for the Porg and the Yoda. You can pause and read that if you'd like. You can adjust the stand though. It's best just have that at that one hint, at that one bit. There's those nice little bits at the back which I always like, which means the slight knock won't knock the thing over. There's a spot for Dio on a 2x2 jumper. Yeah, it's a pretty standard stand. And I always like how they do that blued out version of the buildable character. Think that looks good. Anyways, that's it for all the plastic bits in the set. Now let's take a look at what it comes in and then how you build the thing. The box for this is not visually appealing. It's Endor, but not the Force Moon Endor that we all know and love, but actual planet Endor. Just some wheat in the background, and I think this is a thin $70 box, just vertical, which I think looks okay. You do that nice Episode 9 style greebling, some alternate shots of the set, and yeah, not too much else with this box. The instructions are tall, but also kind of weirdly thin, which is not the greatest for a $70 set. On the back it has an ad for the October sets, and also an ad for the Skywalker saga, which we have less information on than I would like to know. I'd like to know when it releases and also the pre-order bonus, but that is it for the instructions, basically. So should you buy this LEGO Star Wars Dio? I say it depends. If you have the other 3 buildable characters, or 4 if you count the R2-D2, like me, then I would say buy this and you can complete the collection. And it's not a bad model by any means. It's a very well detailed. They've managed to get the shaping right. It looks good. It's a pretty fun build. It's not a long build, but it's a fun build. So if you have the other 3 buildable characters, I would say definitely get this. If you don't have the other 3, then I would still say get this, but maybe wait for a 20% off sale. I don't think $70 is a bad price for this, like it's an outrageous price, because it's pretty well sized. However, I could see some people not wanting to pay that full $70 price, especially price per piece folks. So I would say if you're okay with the $70 price, then go ahead. But if you're not, maybe wait for a 20% off sale, because this will undoubtedly go 20% off at one point or another. So overall, I'd give this set an 8 out of 10. It's a good set. They've got the shaping down. It's a fun build. And it looks like Dio. However, it could be argued that it is a bit on the pricier side. Anyways, that's it for this review. See you guys later. Peace.